another episode of Entrepreneurs in Fuego. We're documenting the journey of incredible entrepreneurs like Riley Andrews from Elite Golf Schools of Arizona. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Great. Thanks for having me.
I love your shirt, man. I'm gonna have to buy me one of those, or kill somebody and just take their shirt off or something like that.
Man, we stand out, don't we?
That's what you want to do. You want to stand out. You want to be able to distinguish yourself from everybody else, and that's what that T-shirt say.
There you go, man. I love it. That's what we're trying to do.
Well, tell us a little bit more in detail what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're really a golf school that's centered around high school and junior development. Nice. We're in the business of helping kids accomplish every dream in golf that they really want. We just view ourselves as the key to getting there. We like to really look at ourselves as providing scholarships for kids to go to school.
That's cool.
So not only are we improving or educating our students on the game of golf, but we're helping the education system for them to go and further their education.
The game of life. Indeed.
Exactly.
So you're pairing those out, and that is really remarkable. And that is what I saw, in your company when I was looking at you guys, and it's truly remarkable because you do have that social component to your business. So it's not just, all right, I'm just going to teach a bunch of kids about golf and everything else, but it's more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where, if we want to go into the golf realm, we see a problem in the industry where golf is really coached unlike any other sport. Where
how so?
Really, in every other sport, you're looking at playmaking. Right, like if you're on a basketball team, you're learning the coaches really their strategy on how to get the ball hold, right, or score more than the other player or other team. But where golf struggles is that it's so centered around the golf swing that there's this total neglect on how to play. And in my opinion, it's the most intricate game out there. So there's no real education out there on how to get the golf ball hold, strategy, mindset. Those are all competitive advantages that you need to have if you're looking to win.
And to be able to be consistent from one game to another game because you may have all those traits and qualities that you described for one particular game.
Absolutely.
But coming back the next day, your game might just be completely destroyed, and that's where you see the golf clubs winding up in the lake.
Man, absolutely. Do you play golf?
I play a little bit. Long enough to be frustrated, long enough to know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh man, you betcha, and it is frustrating, right? Especially if you don't know. Really, if I'm not hitting the golf ball well, what can I do? Do I have a go-to shot? Can I get the golf ball in play? And how quickly can I get the golf ball in the hole? And it really comes down to the shorter shots. Right? Can I make the putts? Can I get the golf ball up and down? Because we all have those days and those rounds where we're hitting the golf ball well.
Right.
And it's like, oh my gosh, this is the funnest game ever.
Can I bottle this?
But then the next day comes and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I've never played golf before.
And in many ways, this is parallel to our lives, right? Because we may have a good day and then we have another bad day. How do you deal with that? And I think that's what Elite Golf School is teaching the kids.
Well, and I love that because in my opinion, sport is kind of our last, you look at the education system in our country, and there's a lot of helping kids get through. And that's not how life is. Sport, and especially golf, it's brutal. It can be very, very difficult if you want to be the highest level.
Sure.
Now, in life, you have to battle through that.
Yep.
Golf has so many parallels with that. And it teaches you how to get through those not only tough rounds, but tough shots, tough moments, right? And how do you get through that or the next stage, the next shot?
If anything, I believe that all the qualities that you're describing, Riley, I think that it's made you a very good entrepreneur because you have that mindset, that golfing mindset.
Right. It does help because we've run into those times where it's like, oh my gosh, this is difficult, right? We need to get more kids in. We want more kids because we're wanting to affect their lives, and that's starting off. I kept hearing that 2-year mark. Hey, once you hit that 2-year mark, then it's either one or the other, where you split one way and you're not going to continue what you're doing, or you're going to start thriving in it. And we did hit that. And now we're just over our 3-year mark, and we're starting to get more kids involved in our programs, which is wonderful because not only are we, like you're saying, we're affecting their golfing lives, but we want to affect their lives outside of the game of golf too.
A lot of people would, without getting too political about it, but a lot of people would say that golf is a very elitist game, right? There's just a few people that go into, much like tennis.
Right.
Are you creating? Are you working on creating some kind of diversity so to bring more people, more kids that may not be able to afford the game of golf into your business?
You bet. And again, kind of to get back onto our first topic on furthering education,
Yeah.
it's incredibly dear to me. It's dear to my family. It's dear to my fiance. Education is one of those, it's just so important. And to get into college, there's so many opportunities, especially in women's golf. There's typically right around 10 players on each women's golf team. 6 full ride scholarships per team at the Division I level.
Wow.
And most aren't even used. So for us, we view ourselves again as kind of, I mean, you could look at us as it's an investment to get into our program, but at the same time, we're going to help your son or daughter to get into school through a golf scholarship.
Through a golf scholarship, because and they're there and they're not being used in this because you have found a niche actually that is identified that particular hole and you're going down. That is cool. And that's what entrepreneurship is all about, right? I mean, that's locating those niches, locating those holes, and kind of laser focusing on those things so that you can market that to the population, and that's what you're doing. And that's much respect for that. 3 years into the business, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm hearing that one of the biggest challenges is how do I get more kids in?
Yeah.
which is marketing, right?
Right, you betcha. You betcha. It's all about that shirt.
It's all about that shirt. Hey, you walk in, I'm like, that's it, man. I won't confuse you.
That's good. That's good. Well, we spend zero on marketing. We want our marketing to really be word of mouth and the success of our students. So it really holds not only our students accountable, but the coaches accountable as well.
Right.
So we're not about flash as far as can I get out there and throw the name of elite out there as much as I can. We want our students to succeed on the golf course and in life. And when they do that, then hopefully that helps us with recruiting more kids into our program.
Well, indeed, I think that your marketing are the students that you have, and each individual that comes out of Elite Academy, they are your ambassadors, right?
You bet.
They are the ones that are going to spread the word out. Hey, I got a full scholarship to do this. How? Well, I went to this school, blah, blah, blah. I went to Elite, and that's how I got into it. And that's the best marketing that you can ever hope to get. So that's really cool.
Yeah, you bet. And that really is our marketing strategy, right? If we have one, then that's it.
Your background, were you a pro golfer? Were you an amateur golfer? Were you just an aficionado or a frustrated golfer?
Let's see, all 4 of those points that you brought up, I've been in each one of those. You bet. I started playing when I was 6, but played every sport until I was a freshman in high school, and then I started just focusing on golf, so I was a single sport athlete then. Went to college on a golf scholarship. As soon as I graduated, played professional golf for about 2.5 years as a traveling pro, and coached a bit through that, and coached while I was in college as well. But then I moved down here from Colorado in really the hopes of continuing to play. And then I started to coach, and I had my first young athlete that started in our program. Brian Byer is his name. And he's still in our program to this day, and I fell in love with it. Absolutely fell in love with it. So that was, just over 3 years ago now, and now we have, let's see, just hit our 46th student in our program.
That's awesome. And see, that's what's cool about you and what you do is the fact that your passion and your ambition to give your knowledge to others outweighed your personal ambition of continuing to be into where you were as a pro golfer. And that is amazing. That is really cool.
It's fun. It's amazing how life turns out, really, because I remember when I was 12 years old, I wanted to be the #1 player in the world, and nothing was going to stop me to do that. And it's funny how life works, where that changed, and it changed pretty quickly, especially when I started influencing young lives.
Well, my man, you are the #1 in Arizona. Elite. See, that's my Latin accent. That's one of the
Sounds
hardest.
Better.
It sounds to me it's just a hard word for me to pronounce. Elite. It just doesn't. In Spanish, it doesn't. It would be like elite, but
Yeah. Well, I like that too. That's even better.
You're #1, man. Elite Golf School is right here in Arizona, right here in Scottsdale, man. You're doing great job. Promoting kids, getting them into the path to go to college on scholarships through the game of golf.
Awesome. You're awesome.
How much better can it get, man? That's awesome.
Love it. Awesome.
Why don't
Thanks
you
for
take
having
us
us.
out, man? You just got to say we're out, and then we're out. How about that?
We're out.
Love it.